Hi, I'm Lara, and this is my channel Sewn by Lara, where I talk about sewing, of course, and sometimes quilting, and sometimes a little bit about life and things that are going on. So, uh, as you notice from my background, I am not at home in my sewing room, but in another location, aka the barracks. This is actually going to be the last vlog post from the barracks because I'm um, I'm moving out, and will be living. I found myself a little apartment that I can stay in during the week, and when I'm off on the weekend, I'm at home, right? So, yeah. So this will give me a little bit more flexibility and a bit more privacy because the walls are very thin, and I share a bathroom with someone else, so it'll be nice just to have my own enclosed space where I can play music as loud as I want, well, within reason. And if I want to sew and it's after 9 o'clock at night, I'm not going to feel badly about doing that because I won't have any neighbors to worry about where I am going. So, but when I get there, I will show some pictures because it's a nice space, but the scenery is even nicer. I have a view of the ocean, which, you know, it's, I'm pretty lucky. I'm feeling really, really lucky. So you're not here to hear me blather on about my living arrangements. Um, I've been busy sewing. Some of it just steady progress on things. And there are some pieces that I'll show you that are from my 18 days of leave, and where I got a whole lot accomplished, literally a garment and a half a day, which is great, right? It just really, when you have a goal of trying to use up some of the fabrics and just make room, it's really, really good to be able to zip through some things really, really quickly. So first up is a style arc pattern called the Tallulah dress. And this has been in my stash for a little bit now. Again, I have a stash of style art patterns and I love the fit. They fit me really, really well. Pardon me. And I, uh, I I find I go back regularly to the style arc patterns because again, I don't need to adjust a lot of things like I do with the Big Four and some other patterns. So yeah, so I made this dress. It's called the Tallulah dress. It's just a simple slip-on kind of dress. It's made for knits, and the knit I made it out of is an amethyst color rib knit that I picked up at Sitka Fabrics in Port Alberni, which is about an hour and a half away from where I am, in Comox. And they've got a nice place there. You can find them online as well. A lovely selection of fabrics. I actually just got their swimwear order. The fabrics I ordered when they were doing a swimwear order were waiting for me when I got home. And so, again, I've got another project underway using some of that material. But this is such a pretty color. I made another dress using that rib knit in they call it iris colorway. I've also bought it in green, I think that's shamrock, and I also bought it in orange as well. I think they call it coral. So I've bought a lot of this stuff, which kind of says something, right, about how nice it really is, and worth buying. I was in at Reitman's, which is one of the clothing retailers here, and the buying a t-shirt, and it I've got it put away so I can't show you, but it says self-love on the front, and that's why I bought it, was because of that graphic. Otherwise I wouldn't have bought it because the t-shirt was so thin, and the girl on the till was trying to get me to buy another, so if you get another, you get 30% off. And I'm like, no, it's not worth, a $35 t-shirt, 30% off. It's like, it's not worth it. And she kind of looked at me and I'm like, look at what I'm wearing and feel the weight of this fabric versus the fabric of this t-shirt. And she's like, oh, and this is a homemade dress. I'll just stand up a little bit. I've got long sleeves. Here, I'll take this off so you can see. There you go. And it's just below my knee. This is the Isabelle dress from McCall's. Again, full sleeve. I need to do a neck adjustment because it slides back. So I need to do a forward shoulder adjustment. But other than that, it's a really nice pattern. Fits well. But as I was saying, I was telling the clerk, just about quality of stuff, right? And how I've gotten to be very picky when I am shopping, mass market kind of clothing, because the quality just might not be there anymore. Enter in the Tallulah dress, which, nice quality fabric. The garment maker did an excellent job. And the pattern is an excellent pattern, easy to follow, easy to put together. And I can see myself making a few more of these dresses in some different fabrics, and playing, with the pattern a little bit. So anyways, I will put in some stills for you to see what I am talking about. So next up is the Flossum dress. So the Flossum dress is a Pattern Emporium pattern. And you may recall seeing this pattern out in the last 6 months. It's got a circle that comes, and so you've got an expanse of skin open here on the chest. And if you've gone into some of the stores, you may have seen it. I know when Pattern Emporium released theirs, a few months later, McCall's had a version, and I saw a version in, I think it was Simplicity, and there was another pattern maker who did something quite similar. But again, I had to kind of chuckle when I first saw it, because I'm thinking, man, this reminds me of, the early 90s when I was in university, and I had a similar kind of top. And I quite liked it. I like that little hint of skin there that is shown. So this Flossum dress is made in an orchid or a violet colored poly stretch material that it's almost embossed, like, in the manufacturing process, they had a pattern that they kind of pressed into the fabric, making it poof or bubble a bit. And I picked this up at Fabricland in Courtenay, just down the road, and it's a gorgeous color. I really like the dress and how it fits. Again, Pattern Emporium patterns fit me very well with minimal adjusting. I find where I need to make the adjustments is a forward shoulder, as well as the underarms. So if I'm making a size 20, I need to take it in to about a size like 14, just right here. And then it kind of goes out, because that's where a little bit of, that underarm fat lies, and then it falls. The garment falls. So the fat falls too, if I'm really honest. But those are the only adjustments I need to make. Kate's patterns are really well well crafted. So this came together really easily. You'll see in the pictures that I've got just a little bit of gaping. I did sew down, the two rounds as they come together, but I might need to take it in just a little bit more, so I'm not showing as much. The other pieces, I've got to think about what underwear I'm wearing. Probably a strapless bra is going to be my better bet with this particular top, dress. I have in mind, I've got some fabric that I want to use up that again is a knit. So I think I will also make this again in a different type of knit fabric, using the top pattern, and just have a few, creative kind of tops that go with, a variety of different outfits. So that is the Flossum dress, and I'll put in a few stills for you. Now, not to be really, really fancy or thinking so much about spring that I forget that it's still March here. Even though almost the end of March, it's still a bit chilly. I had to scrape frost off my car the other day. So I made myself, I had found some more fleece lined sweatshirting, this time in a kind of a pinky purple colorway. You can't really call it lavender, but you can't call it pink either. It's somewhere in between. So I picked that up at Fabricland, and I got some binding material when I put in an order. That would have been before Christmas. Minerva. I put in an order for some cuffing or binding because I find here it's really hard to find nice quality binding, and if you do, it's like $42 a meter, and it's narrow. It's like like this wide. So it costs a lot to bind either the sleeves or a neck or something. So Minerva definitely outprices everybody there, even with the exchange from the pound to the Canadian dollar. Anyway, so I rolled it all together, and presto changeo, and came up with this great sweatshirt. Again, another Pattern Emporium top, just a very simple one piece top, right? And easy to put together. Would actually be a great gift. If you knew your person's sizes, you could batch sew a number. Like if you had a bunch of girlfriends, for example, you could cut out and sew them all in a day, 3 or 4 of them. It's that kind of quick, because you've got just your side seam here, and then whatever goes on your neckline, and then your hem, and you're done. So that would be, really quick and easy if you're thinking about making a good gift, or if you just want, how I'm thinking about using this pattern in the future is with some of the knit fabrics that I have, to make a light knit kind of top using that pattern. So if I want to kind of protect my sleeves a little bit, my arms a little bit, I've got a long sleeved, garment. And, here on the island, it still can be kind of cool during the summer. Even when it's 20, often there's a cool ocean breeze coming. So, you might need that extra layer. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is using some of the finer knit fabric in that application. So when I wasn't sewing, pardon me, I spent some time on Simplicity's website. I noticed that they had a sale, so I took advantage. I only bought 3 patterns. I probably should have bought more because I saw a few patterns from Mimi G and her athletic wear that I thought would be really good um, to have in my stash to make up. But picked up this one and was thinking that version would be a good option. You may recognize this if you've been around for a while. And again, thinking about this option or this one, but just a bit longer. And finally, this, and liking all versions. And I could see myself making all versions. Sadly, like for A, you're looking at 5.8 meters of 115 centimeter fabric. So it's a fabric hog. So if I find a really good deal, I'll probably be making that one, though I have something in my stash, a nice floral that I think I bought 9 meters of it at a really good sale. So I may be able to use it up finally in that particular dress application. So I also, there was a sale on at Fabricland, so I picked up this. This is a Cafe Facet fabric in Meadow. Sorry for the noise. That's the joy of sharing, and you can hear everything. So apologies. Sometimes sharing too much information, right? Anyway, so I picked up this Cafe fabric, and my plan is to make a pullover dress with that. It's quite thin, you know, so again, I got to think about kind of where I'm going to wear it, what application, what kind of weather, you know, because again, it doesn't get that hot here, and I'd only wear it for the hot summer days. So I also got this, and you can see it's kind of a multicolored, it's chiffon. I think I got almost 5 meters of it, and I got a heavier piece of like polyester to go underneath. But my thought was to make a tiered skirt that was just very full, roughly, very girly, and I could just throw it on, right? So, you know, we're talking, it's a day in May, and I put on a t-shirt and pull on that skirt and jean jacket, and I'm good to go. That's the kind of look I was thinking of. And then I found, I was thinking about my Make 9, because I haven't touched anything on my Make 9 yet, and I thought, ooh, Lara, you better start on that. And so when I was in Fabricland, I came across this material. I'd say it looks kind of raspberry, watermelonish in this light. I'd say it's coral. It's like a twill, but satin or satiny. And my thought was to make the Richmond utility skirt out of this. You know, again, it was 70% off, so not a huge amount of money. And so it would be a good a test one. And if it works well, then the plan is to buy a piece of cotton twill and make myself, you know, either a khaki or maybe blue, indigo blue colored utility skirt from that. So, yeah, so that's, I'm looking at my list down here. So that's kind of the plans for sewing up ahead. And of course, I'm moving at the end of the week. So, you know, not that I have a lot to move here, just what's in drawers. So I think probably 3 trips and I'm good, which is good because it's only 15 minutes away. But yeah, it'll maybe take me the weekend to get established and figure out, okay, where am I going to put my sewing machine and my serger, and then away I go. I still have access to the big conference table at work to lay out and cut out patterns, which is really great as well. So, things are looking up. Anyways, I won't keep rambling at you. Sorry for a bit of a disjointed presentation today. I feel like I've been rambling all day because I had church this morning, and service went well, but the gospel lesson, let me tell you, it was really, really long. And once it finished, I had to take a big gulp of water because I was so dry after all the talking, and I didn't have enough spit to actually run into my sermon. So I'm finding even now, yeah, some of the same. So I think it's about time for my Sunday afternoon nap after church, and I wish you a good afternoon or evening or morning, depending on when you watch this. And hopefully your sewing journey for this week is going well, and you're not having to pull out threads and fight with your sewing machine. Anyways, take care.